Good evening, Erev Tov, all of the Knesset Israel family. You have come to the right place if you are looking to celebrate the strength of our KI community. We have all faced unpredictable and significant challenges and loss over the past year. All of you know families who have experienced job loss, the loss of loved ones, hunger, isolation, and other hardships. I also know that the loving and dedicated people of KI have come together to provide a safety net of support, including pastoral care, worship, educational opportunities, social action, social justice, and more, all online, many times for the first time, and in many cases, reaching new people never touched by our congregation before. Tonight, we will build on what we started last night, a heartfelt recognition of the people and accomplishments of KI as we join together to meet the compelling needs of our congregation and community. Hopefully you watched or participated online last night in both our Shabbat services and Zoom Oneg, which we call Zoneg here at KI, as we offered prayer, reflection, and joyous celebration befitting our annual spring celebration, our largest fundraising effort of the year. In that spirit, join me in our prayer of gratitude. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has given us life, who has sustained us through the last year, and has brought us to this celebration together. And now we close out our Spring Celebration 2021 with this incredibly inspiring evening of uplifting vocal performances by many friends of our own KI community, and of course, featuring our own beloved cantor Amy E. Levy.
Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna get through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star. Wherever we are, it's together. Wherever I go, I know he goes.
Wherever I go, I know she goes.
No fits, no fights, no feuds, no egos. Amigos, together. Through thick and through thin, all out or all in. And whether it's win, place, or show, with you for me and me for you, we'll muddle through whatever we do together. Wherever we go, wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna get through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star. Wherever we are, it's together. Wherever I go, I know he goes.
And wherever I go, I know she goes.
No fits, no fights, no feuds, no egos.
Amigos, together.
Through thick and through thin, all out or all in. And whether it's win, place, or show, with you for me and me for you, we'll muddle through whatever we do together. Wherever we go.
Thank you, KI staff, for demonstrating the joy and the service at KI. I'm sure you're all looking forward to the day when we can all be together again in the building and you can all visit the Temple Judaeum Museum again. And now, we'll hear for the first time tonight from our very own Broadway sensation, Lee Slobodkin, with Andrew Sen on the piano. Enjoy.
I'm breaking my mother's heart. The longer I stand looking at you, the more I hear it splinter and crack from 90 miles away. I'm breaking my mother's heart. The JCC of Spring Valley is shaking and crumbling to the ground, and my grandfather's rolling in his grave. If you had a tattoo, that wouldn't matter. If you had a shaved head, that'd be cool. If you came from Spain or Japan or the back of a van, just as long as you're not from Hebrew school, I'd say now I'm getting somewhere. I'm finally breaking through. I'd say, hey, hey, Shiksa-Goddess, I've been waiting for someone like you. I've been waiting through Danica Schwartz and Erica Weiss and the Handelman twins. I've been waiting through Heather Greenblatt, Annie Minkus, Karen Pincus, and Lisa Katz, and Stacy Rosen, Ellen Kaplan, Julie Silber, and Janie Stein. I've had Shabbos dinners on Friday nights with every Shapiro in Washington Heights, but the minute I first met you, I could barely catch my breath. I've been standing for days with the phone in my hand like an idiot scared to death. I've been wandering through the desert. I've been beaten, I've been hit. My people have suffered for thousands of years, and I don't give a... If you drove an RV, that wouldn't matter. If you like to drink blood, I think it's cute. If you had a powerful connection to your firearm collection, I'd say, draw a bead and shoot. I'm your Hebrew slave at your service. Just tell me what to do. I'd say, hey, 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 I've been waiting for someone. I've been praying for someone. I think that I could be in love with someone like you.
Thank you, Lee and Andrew. The next performance has become a landmark composition in the KI High Holy Day services. Let's listen as Cantor Amy Levy and Hazan Tillman with Andrew Sen on piano inspire us with L'Ador V'Ador.
L'Ador V'Ador nagid God lecha, L'Ador V'Ador nagid God lecha, U'lenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nakdish.
L'Ador V'Ador nagid God lecha, L'Ador V'Ador nagid God lecha, U'lenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nakdish.
V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush le'olam v'ed.
V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush le'olam v'ed.
L'Ador V'Ador nagid God lecha,
L'Ador V'Ador nagid God lecha,
U'lenetzach netzachim
קידושתך נקדיש, כי מלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ודור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, נגיד גודלך.
Thank you, Cantor Amy and Hazan Tillman. I know we're all looking forward to hearing you perform this iconic prayer at Rosh Hashanah services in early September. Let's watch now as our own super talented Naomi Guth, who was in sheer joy just a few short years ago, performs another liturgical icon, O Say Shalom, accompanied on guitar by Rasan Levy.
Say shalom, shalom b'mromah. Yeah, say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimru amen, ve'yimru amen. Say shalom, shalom b'mromah. We say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimru amen, ve'yimru amen. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol. Say shalom aleinu. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yisrael. Shalom.
Many of you have told the KI staff how much you value certain prayers and songs from our Bima. L'Dor Vador and O Say Shalom are just two examples. You just heard them in this concert. The promise of the future passing on of Jewish values to the next generation, coupled with the fervent prayer for peace in our hearts, creates a powerful draw for all of us. So let's not delay. Let's jump back to the music.
In my own lifetime, I want to see the fighting cease. In my own lifetime, I want to see my sons enjoy the fruits of peace. While I'm still here, I want to know, beyond a doubt, that no one can lock us in or lock us out. We have climbed higher, much higher than I thought we'd climb. It's a long journey, but even though the end's in sight, there's not much time. I want to know we haven't built on sand in my own lifetime. In my own lifetime, I want to see our efforts blessed. In my own lifetime, I want to see the walls come down and then we'll rest. This Moses wants to see the promised land in my own lifetime.
That was another stirring performance by Hazan Tillman with Andrew Sen on piano. This time a Broadway piece from the lyricist and composer team that brought us Fiddler on the Roof. The song is sung by the elder character, Meyer Rothschild, as he looks back on his life. We saw last night how the KI community accomplished so much during this past year of need, and we know going forward that we'll have to continue to step up to serve our community. Now let's buckle up as Cantor Amy E. Levy, accompanied by Andrew Sen, takes us on a rousing, emotional journey to a place of hope, beauty, fear, and ultimately, home.
And wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't
Wow, that was over the moon. Let's pause to appreciate the enormous gift of keyboardist supreme Andrew Sen, whose organ concert and behind-the-scenes video I hope you caught last week. Next, we discover a double rainbow as we hear from KI preschool teacher Lauren Hallenbeck and her sublime take on the rainbow theme.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Oh, have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailor? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La-ya-da-dee-ya-da-do. La-da-da-da-da-dee-da-do.
We've been fortunate over the past few years to be the educational home of gorgeous voices from teachers such as Lauren, and at the same time, students such as George Wagner and Sammy Deutsch, who recorded this next heartwarming performance separately, but you'll think, once you see it, that they were in the same room.
now you're gone.
Tonight, we get to see examples of the sky-high level of musical artistry in our KI family, as evidenced by these next selections, a mix of the liturgical and secular. Shalom Rav is the prayer for peace that marks the conclusion of Tefillah. Our volunteer adult choir, Shir KI, has prepared this recording of Shalom Rav with cantor Amy Levy and conducted by Hazan David F. Tillman, and accompanied by our virtuoso organist, Andrew Sen. This new KI recording is the debut virtual presentation of Shalom Rav, one of my favorite prayers.
Wow, thank you for that beautiful music, and thank you all for watching with us tonight, and for your ongoing and generous support of KI. The annual spring celebration, our most important fundraiser of the year, helps make possible all of the awesome accomplishments, both the heroic and the everyday, of our staff, volunteers, lay leaders, and clergy. We appreciate your generous gifts and purchases toward this year's celebration. We're so happy now to present the talented cantor DJ 14, former KI student and son of KI Director and Religious Practices Committee Chair, Lisa Schwartz, with this hilarious take on Adon Olam to the tune of You'll Be Back from the musical Hamilton.
Shalom במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן על כל ישראל ואמרו אמן אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, אדון עולם אשר מלך, לה דה 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 דה, לה דה 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 ירה, לה דה 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 ירה, לה דה 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 דה, לה דה 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 ירה, לה דה 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 דה, והוא אחד ואין שני להמשיל, לא להמשיל, לא להכבירה, ולי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחגואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נעשה וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, בידו אף כדרוכי, בעת אישן והעירה, ועם רוחי הביאתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. לה דה 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 דה, לה דה 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 ירה, לה דה 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 ירה, לה דה 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 דה, לה דה 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 ירה, דה דה דה. Everybody. La da 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 yada, la da 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 yada, la da 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 da, la da 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 yada, la da 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 yada.
From the fun to the meditative, the Levites, composed of Cantor Amy E. Levy, Hillary Eisenman, KI college student Jessica Reineck, and Naomi Guth, perform Lecha Dodi to the tune of Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, accompanied once more by Andrew Sen. Lev in Hebrew means heart, and we surely get that and more with this performance.
לקראת שבת לכו ולכה, כי היא מכל
And thank you, La Levites, for that emotional rendition. And now, one more time, we change genres back to comedy. Jewish humor is like oxygen. It keeps us going through good times and bad. We rely on it to make sense of the world and to help us to connect with our fellow travelers. So, for your enjoyment, we present the pandemic song to Sit Down, You Are Rocking the Boats, performed by cantor Amy E. Levy and Lisa Botkin, accompanied by Andrew Sen on piano. This also features KI, staff, and friends. Enjoy.
One day last week, I was stuck on Zoom for hours, and by some chance left my phone across the room. And as it rang, I said, "Hang on a second, guys, I gotta go get that real quick." That's when every one of my friends saw the moon. And they said to me, "Please sit down, you're not wearing pants." People all said, sit down, you're not wearing pants."
Could you please turn off your camera? No one wants to suffer a second glance.
Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're not wearing pants.
And as the staff tried to go on with the meeting, the rabbi said that he had to eat some food, but he refused to just mute his darn computer. So we had to hear each bite that he chewed. And we said to him, "Mute yourself, it only takes one click."
Said to him, "Mute yourself, your lunch is making us sick. It is only a tiny button in the lower left of your laptop screen. Come on, come on, come on, come on, you're ruining quarantine." Oh.
The mandate for the Jewish people to celebrate is found in the Torah and repeated in our High Holy Day prayer book. Ela Moadei Adonai. These are the appointed seasons of the Eternal. We now close our evening of celebration and musical performances with two incredibly moving songs from Broadway. They encapsulate KI and Reform Jewish values. Thank you, viewers, donors, and sponsors, for your generosity of spirit, support, love, and talent. Tonight, over the past year, and for so many generations before and to come. We are grateful to you, our congregants. You are what makes KI strong, what makes KI good, and what makes KI, we hope and trust, the place where you will always be spiritually at home.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe it's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for.
But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore.
Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off
like
the
a stream that
sea,
meets
like a
a
seed
boulder
dropped by a bird in the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better.
Because I knew you.
Because I knew you.
Because I knew you.
I have been changed for good.
That, of course, was For Good from the musical Wicked, performed so eloquently by Cantor Levy and Lisa Blatkin, with Andrew Sen on the piano. # I'm not crying, you're crying. And without further ado, KI professional choir members Sierra Fox, Jennifer Smith, Stephen Van Name, and Edward Myers join Cantor Levy in a very special performance of You Will Be Found from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. May we all be found in the sanctuary, in the chapel seats, in the buzzing lobby, in the classrooms, in the gardens, the KG auditorium, the museum and the library, the offices, or maybe in your own homes, and always in each other's hearts.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear?
So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you reach up and you rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be
I've watched everything on Netflix twice and caught up on Miami Vice. I'll tell you that Don Johnson's quite a hunk.
I tried to learn embroidery, ruined a loaf of bread or three.
Now my living room is filled with junk.
And I'm tired of eating takeout and fighting over yeast.
I've not slept well in 13 months at least. But for the first time in forever, I'll go hang out in a bar.
For the first time in forever, I will finally clean my car. And I know it's totally crazy that we'd all get our
into my jeans. I'll go to see a film or four.
I don't think they show them anymore.
I'll remember what we meant by elbow room. I'll travel to some far-off place. Even Jersey seems like outer space. I'll finally leave behind my gloom and doom.
There'll be actual real-life people. It'll be totally strange. My wardrobe really could use a change. For the first time in forever, I'll be wearing fancy clothes.
For the first time in forever, my favorite restaurants won't be closed. And I know I'll be a little bit gassy when we're all in one room. But for the first time in forever, for the first time in forever, our lives won't be on soon.
Finally.
That's it.